Hello everyone, hope you all are fine. After a long time, I'm making a video. I was actually busy in my work. So, today we are going to discuss some of the IPCs. Now, before discussing, a question comes in mind, why should we learn about IPCs? We are not in police or we are not lawyers. But as a medical student, we have to know some of the IPCs because we also study forensic medicine. And we know that forensic medicine is application of medical law to medical knowledge to law for the purpose of justice. So it's very important for us to know about the not all but some of the IPCs. So what is the full form of IPC? IPC means Indian Penal Code, and it was, it came into effect in 1860, which I have written over here, and it has sections, or you can say it has codes in the form of numbers. So there are in total 511 number of sections. Number of sections, I repeat, 511. This might come question in your MCQs, that how many sections are there in IPC, like the total section. So it is 511. And what does this IPC means? So in simple words, it has codes in the form of numbers, and it describes crimes, it describes offenses, also the punishment for those crimes or offenses. So in Indian Penal Code, or IPC, has 511 codes which describes offenses and also crime, punishment for those respective offenses. Okay, so there are many, as I said, there are 511 IPCs, which is of course not possible for us to remember. Some of the IPCs I am discussing, I have taken this set of IPCs because they are in the form of successive numbers, so it is very easy for us to remember and understand. So let's begin with the first one. IPC 319 or 319 tells us about hurt. Hurt means simple hurt, which simple hurt which gives pain in the body, which is not permanent, which does not makes any of your body organs unable to work, which does not leaves you in a very severe pain that you're like you go mad because of that pain. So 319 tells you about simple hurt. Okay, now the next IPC 320 tells you about grievous hurt. I've written in short GH. It is grievous hurt. Now the word itself, grievous, means something very grieve, something very serious, something very serene. So those hurt which are very serious, which are very serene, are defined under 320 IPC section. Now, how will you understand which hurt is simple and which hurt is grievous? Like there has to be some, some guidelines or some kinds of parameters to classify that, okay, this hurt which a victim is complaining of is a simple hurt, or this hurt which a victim is complaining is a grievous hurt. So remember, my friends, there are certain things which you have to keep in mind, because they do ask in MCQs, like they can give you that X and Y victim experienced a gunshot, or was stabbed at the thorax, or stabbed at the back. So what are these? Are these simple hurt, or are these grievous hurt? It's easy, right, to understand that. Of course, if someone comes and shoot at my chest, I'm gonna have like horrible pain, I might die also. So that's of course not a simple hurt, that's a grievous hurt. But we do have some parameters which we use to classify or put in this category of grievous hurt. So any hurt or any injuries which leads to emasculation, Emasculation, what do you mean by emasculation? Emasculation means depriving a man, that is a male gender, from his masculine vigor, which means amputation of penis, castration, or injuries to his genital areas or the head of the pelvis, or any hurt which has led into fracture of pelvis. So this is called as emasculation. This is a grievous hurt. Second one, permanent privation of your ear, permanent privation of your eye, or any joint or member of your body. Now, what do you mean by privation? Privation means cut off. In simple word means cut off. So, permanent privation of my right eye. What does it mean? It means that someone has come and someone has shot me, shot at my right eye. Now I cannot see. My vision is lost, or there are abrasions in my cornea. I've got corneal abrasions. I have to go for surgery. And I'm not sure whether I'll get back my vision, my visual acuity will be restored or recovered. I'm not sure. So that's a grievous hurt. Similarly, permanent privation of my either of my eye, right or left. So suppose someone comes and hit me on my left ear, and because of which now I cannot hear. Why? Because my tympanic membrane is completely ruptured. I have to go to an ENT to see what could what can the doctor do for me. So that is a grievous hurt. Similarly, a fracture or an injury to any organ joint of your body, a fracture of your tooth, fracture of your joint, fracture of your bone, these are all grievous hurt. So in a nutshell, you have to remember that any injury or any hurt which puts your life in a dangerous situation, which endangers your life, and because of that injury or because of that hurt, the victim is having a horrible body pain, severe body pain. Victim is in severe bodily pain, and that pain is lasting for around 20 days. The pain is so bad that the victim is complaining of the pain for about 20 days, and just because of that injury, that hurt, that pain, that fracture or that privation, the patient is not able to do his or her routine work or daily work. The patient is not able to perform his daily routine work just because of that hurt. So all these categories comes into the grievous hurt category, which is defined under section 320. Now let's come to 321. 321 tells us that it is a voluntary simple hurt, which means, like, suppose someone comes and slaps me. So that's a simple hurt. I mean, the pain is not so much. Definitely, I will not be having pain for 20 days, and definitely because of that, my masseter muscles or the muscles of mastication are not injured. I'm able to chew and enjoy my food, but still, that's a simple hurt. It has given me body pain, which is temporary, and the person has done voluntary, so it comes in section 321, causing hurt voluntary. Just similar to that, keep in mind, I have written it like this so that you can remember it for a long time. 322, causing grievous hurt voluntary. So we have discussed what is grievous hurt. Now voluntary, when the word voluntary comes, the IPC is 322. So 319 is simple hurt, 320 grievous hurt, and what are the kinds of grievous hurt we have just discussed in very simple language. 321, causing hurt voluntary. But remember, this voluntary hurt is without any provocation. The person has not been provoked to do that. The person is doing just because he or she wanted to do. It is his voluntary act. 322, causing grievous hurt voluntary. So these 4 IPCs done, right? Now the next 4 IPCs are related to the punishments of simple hurt and grievous hurt, which we have just discussed above. Okay, so above defines the Simple hurt, grievous hurt, voluntary, done voluntary, or this both simple voluntary, grievous voluntary. Now the below 4 IPCs will define the punishment for these kinds of simple hurt and grievous hurt. So 323. Now IPC 323 is punishment for voluntary causing simple hurt. Okay, and what is the punishment? The punishment is up till 1 year imprisonment, or it might include fine sometimes, like maybe 1000 rupees, or sometimes 1 year punishment as well as the fine. So 323 is the punishment for voluntary causing hurt. So yes, and 324, coming to the second, the second 324, this IPC, this is imprisonment for around 3 years for voluntary causing simple hurt but by a dangerous weapon. So do you see the difference? 323, 324, both are simple hurt. The difference over here in 323 is that it is caused by non-dangerous weapon, or maybe no weapon. Like suppose I'm giving an example, like I gave an example a few seconds ago, that someone's come and slaps on my right cheek. So that's a simple hurt, right? And the person has done voluntary, that person has done that. That person cannot say that, oh, by mistake I just come and slapped you. No, that's a voluntary act, right? But did the person used any weapon? No, there was no weapon. He just came and with his open hand, open palm, he just came and gave a tight slap on my face. So that's a simple hurt by no dangerous weapon. He used his hand, and for that the punishment is 1 year or fine, or sometimes both. Now 324 is simple hurt by a dangerous weapon, okay, and the punishment is 3 years. Now coming to 325. Now 325 is imprisonment for around 7 years for grievous hurt by a non-dangerous weapon. Now what do you mean by a non-dangerous weapon or a dangerous weapon? Like how do you actually differentiate something like a weapon or an instrument as a dangerous or a non-dangerous weapon? Is this marker a dangerous weapon? Right? No, right? So how do you decide that which instrument is a dangerous weapon and which is not a dangerous weapon? So we do have kind of some of the examples in the dangerous weapon. Now any weapon, just remember this, any weapon or any instrument which endangers life is a dangerous weapon. For example, for stabbing, what do we use? What is generally used? Knife. For shooting, a gun, right? Or a rifle, or AK-47, or you can just go more and more, right? For cutting, we use a knife. A saw is also used for cutting. Explosion has taken somewhere, so that's a dangerous weapon. Poison, sometimes someone dies. You might have heard in newspaper or in news channels that X and Y person has died and the cause of death is poisoning. And there are so many poisons, interesting poisons, that will come across when we read more and more deep in forensic medicine. So poison is also a dangerous weapon. Sometimes we hear that a person has died in fire. So fire, heat, burn, stabbing, shooting, cutting, or even an animal, explosion, poison, these are all dangerous weapons. These are all included in dangerous weapon. Also corrosives like acid, those acid attack news you might have heard of. Acid, alkali, corrosive substances, explosive substances, these are included in dangerous weapons. So in a nutshell, any weapon which endangers your life is categorized in the subheading of dangerous weapons or dangerous means of causing grievous hurt to a to an individual, right? So coming back to a CPC, this IPC, now 320, we were here, right? 325. Now 325 IPC tells that punishment for voluntary causing grievous hurt by a non-dangerous weapon. For example, someone comes, like I'm walking on the road and someone comes and kicks me and I just fall on the road, and that person gives me another kick. He kicks on my pelvis, he kicks on my joint, on my femur, and he gives me punch. So because of that, you know maybe I fainted on the road and someone took me to the hospital, and finally I've got a big plaster on my lower limb, I've got a fracture. So that's a grievous hurt. I have got pain. Definitely the fracture will last for more than 20 days for sure. And of course that fractured pain, if any one of you have had a fracture in your life, you know how the pain is. So I'm gonna definitely have a pain for more than 20 days. I cannot use my limb for my daily routine work, for taking a walk, or for bathing, or for doing anything for more than 20 days. And of course this fracture could have been dangerous, if something else would have happened, if I would have not gone to the hospital. So that's a grievous hurt, but this grievous hurt was not caused by any dangerous weapon. The person just came and kicked me with his own legs or hand. He did not use any rod or any kind of stick to do that. So this is 325, 7 years of imprisonment. Coming to the last IPC, that is 326 IPC. Do not see the alphabets right now, A and B. You just see the 326 IPC. Now 326 IPC is the grievous hurt which is caused by dangerous weapon. And we just discussed dangerous weapon could be the weapons which is used for shooting, cutting, stabbing, or it could include poisons, fire, heat, burn. It could include explosives. It could include animals. So for that, the punishment is 10 years of imprisonment. Now, you can see I've written 326A and 326B. Now, what is this? 326A tells us about acid attack. And the punishment for this is also 10 years. So 326A is voluntary grievous hurt by use of acid. Now definitely, it's a common sense, if someone throws acid at me, it's done voluntary, right? Nobody will say that, oh, I did it. It just happened by mistake. No, it has to be done voluntary. You have thrown acid on my face, and of course it's a grievous hurt. We discussed just now that any kind of corrosive alkali or acid, that comes under the category of dangerous weapon or dangerous means of injury. So that acid or alkali which the person has used, that has caused grievous hurt. So 326A tells us about acid attack, that is voluntary causing grievous hurt, and it is punishable. Imprisonment is not less than 10 years, and sometimes it may extend to life along with fine. 326B is voluntary throwing, or you can say attempting to throw acid. Or in short, 326B is an attempt of acid attack. You have done an attempt of acid attack. You have gone for an attempt, and it is punishment for up to 7 years. It may include fine also. So this is the IPC. 319 defines simple hurt. 320 grievous hurt, right, which includes emasculation, permanent privation or cut off of either of your eye, ear, or your joint, member, or any member of your body or part of your body, or fracture of your bone, fracture of your tooth in the buccal cavity, or you can say damage to your liver, your spleen. These are all grievous hurt which will definitely endanger your life, which will definitely keep you in pain for more than 20 days, and which will definitely not let you do any of your routine work for at least 20 days. So that's grievous hurt. And if you're doing the same simple hurt voluntary, the IPC is 3221. This grievous hurt voluntary IPC is 322. Punishment for the simple hurt without any weapon, 323. Punishment of simple hurt with weapon, 324. Punishment of grievous hurt without any weapon over here means non-dangerous weapon, which we have just discussed, 325. And punishment of grievous hurt by a dangerous weapon, like someone comes and kills me with a gun, one bullet in, gone, that's a grievous hurt. And he used what? He used a gun, he shot me, right? So that's a dangerous weapon, 326. And 326A is acid attack, 10 years, mark 10 years to life imprisonment, may include fine also. 326B is attempt of acid attack. So these are the IPCs. I hope you have understand. If you want to know anything more, you can either comment or email me or text me personally. And if you want to know more about all these, you can read the forensic medicine books. You can also go online. I have read it from the book, and I've tried to made it as simple as possible to remember. And the sequence is very easy, from 319 to 326. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Today we are done with 10 IPCs. I hope you all will remember. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.